the meetings that you're on are recorded, they're open to the public, and oftentimes there are members of the media who are present. And so to just be aware of that as we go about our business. Ms. Clanton, will you do the roll call for us, please?
Thank you. Presiding Justice Namias.
I'm here.
Chief Judge Christopher McFadden.
Here.
Vice Chief Rickman.
Here.
Judge Walter Davis. I think he's going to be joining us late. President of the Council of Superior Court Judges, Brian Amara. I know he is with us. Judge Paget is with us.
I'm here. I'm here.
Thank you. Judge Kite.
I'm here.
Judge Bill Reinhardt, designee for Melanie Cross. Has he joined us yet? He's going to be joining us late. Judge Sizemore.
I'm present. Thanks.
Chief Judge Asha Jackson.
I'm here. Thank you.
Chief Judge Chris Brasher. I think he's on the phone. Judge Fletcher Sands.
I'm here. Thank you.
Judge Ralph Van Pelt.
I'm here.
Also incoming, AJ, Judge Robert Flournoy with the Cobb Circuit. He'll be joining us as of January 1st.
I'm here. Thank you.
Chief Judge Sarah Rawl.
I'm here.
Chief Judge Steph Bagley.
Here.
Judge Jim Blanchard.
Here.
President of the State Court Counsel, Wes Taylor.
I'm here.
President-elect Al Wong.
Here.
President of the Council of Juvenile Court Judges, Lisa Jones.
Here.
President-elect Greg Price.
Present.
President of the Council of Probate Court Judges, Kelly Wolk. President-elect Thomas Lakes.
Here.
Thank you, Judge. I know Judge Hudson had a conflict, so Judge Quinn Casper is representing the magistrates today.
Yes, I'm here. Thank you.
Thank you. President of the Council of Municipal Court Judges, Willie Weaver.
Present.
Chief Judge Lori Duff.
Present.
President of the State Bar of Georgia, Don Jones.
Present.
Chief, that completes the roll, and there are no minutes.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Clanton. So the first thing I wanted to do is thank Shannon Weathers and Emily Youngo. We, as the Superior Court judges know, sent out some questions that we were hoping to get some good feedback on and did receive some feedback on just about where the state of the affairs were in the local jurisdictions across the state. It gave us a pretty good snapshot of how you were seeing the increased numbers of COVID cases across the state. So thank them for great work and quick work and giving some good feedback to us. And thank you for those who participated on such short notice. Of course, as you all know, if you look at the DPH, Department of Public Health dashboard, the numbers of COVID cases across the state have escalated to unprecedented levels that give us cause for concern, levels that are, again, unprecedented, higher than anything we've seen, even under our most restricted level of operations by far. And so given that where we are, it's not my dream job to announce, but I think it's the responsible thing to do, is to suspend jury trials in instances for cases that are not already underway. And so what we're prepared to do is issue a modified order that will amend our previous order that will suspend jury trials for cases not already in progress. That suspension would include jury selection processes. It's anticipated that this jury suspension would last at least until mid-February or February, and would be until further order. This would not preclude the issuance of jury summons. So when we do get going, we think that might help in restarting the process on a quicker note. the idea timeline, the idea for the timeline would be to issue this order as soon as we can following this call, with an effective date of tomorrow, maybe midnight tomorrow. We're still working out the details. As to non-essential functions, of course, with the spotlight on these increased numbers, we'll leave it up to the local jurisdictions, the chief judges in particular, to direct to what extent those functions will continue. Of course, you have the authority to be more restrictive than what we are setting forth. But with respect to those non-essential functions, it is imperative that we do those, especially where we can, using the remote technology that's available. That has to be our first preference, our first alternative. And then to the extent we conduct any in-person proceedings, we need as close to 100% compliance with health and safety guidelines as is imaginably possible. Thank you. So that's where we're looking on that. And again, we do urge any local chiefs to be mindful of the local numbers, local conditions, local resources, what's going on in your courthouses, your court personnel, the folks that are coming in out of your building, and making any decisions that you need to make as appropriate under those circumstances. Before I open up for questions and comments, I do want to hear from y'all as we're drafting right now. If you've got something that you want to inform our process, we need to hear from you. But before I go to that, I do want to respond to some of the questions I think you've been asking as to the vaccine. There is a Department of Public Health rollout plan. The judicial branch you'll see is included in phase 1B. And so we are anticipated to be in the first phase. So that means a number of things, but whatever it means is mostly dependent on the ability to implement whatever plans are in place. And so we are somewhat dependent on that process. We don't have a lot of details right now as far as what that means. Our folks at the AOC are engaged with DPH, and they will report back as they hear something, because we know you're interested in that, and that might help us move forward as well. I do know the protocols have 2 shots, and they have to be implemented with some weeks in between. So it's not an immediate fix to the circumstances that we're facing. So that's where we are with that. So let me pause and let me just hear from anybody who has concerns or wants us to shape things in a certain way that we need to hear from you on this latest development.
Chief, may I speak?
Thank you, Judge O'Meara.
I just want to say that I'm fully in support of your move to shut down jury trials during the month of January. Mid-February, end of February seems to make sense to me. I also very much appreciate you giving the local jurisdictions the authority to manage the in-person work in accordance with their specific local circumstances. So again, thank you for your swift work in this regard, and we appreciate you.
Thank you, Judge O'Meara. And y'all should know that the feedback that Judge O'Meara has been providing has been critically helpful. Anybody else?
Chief Justice, this is Judge Asha Jackson. My phone skipped out. Did you make any comment with respect to grand jury? Are we still on for swearing in and impandeling grand jurors, or where are we with that?
Any comment with respect to grand juror, so that will remain within the purview of local control.
Okay, thank you.
So big picture, we're beginning to see glimpses of a light at the end of the tunnel. We are not there yet. It's one of those weird circumstances that the worst case scenario in our experience, our pandemic experience, is right at the beginning of the point where we can see the end. So it's not a time to relax just yet, but we still have to gauge what we do based on where we are at the moment. but hopefully we can get to a point very soon where we can start thinking about being back to normal. It's not what we want to do, obviously, but we think it's a responsible thing to do. PJ, Presiding Justice Nomis, do you have anything to add?
No, I think you covered it all, Chief.
I'm sorry, is there a specific end date with respect to the February order, or is that still up in the air as well?
So the way
resumption
it's phrased right now, it is phrased in terms of until further order, but at least to February. So, it might be that we can lift that suspension in February, but it will be driven by the next further order.
And to be clear, it's a modification of the existing order that expires, I think, January 8th. I mean, that's as long as these orders can go 30 days at a time. So there'll have to be a new order January 8th, but the chief was saying it almost certainly will extend this prohibition in that order to February.
That's right.
Thank you.
And if you have comments about, how we shape this going forward, especially as we get into the January order, let us know if you think you got a handle on things locally and you can do this. I'm not saying we'd be amenable, but we at least want to hear and have the opportunity to work with you. So let us know if that case arises where you are. That's all I have. Is Judge LaGrua on the call or Judge McClellan?
I'm on, Chief.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Okay. Anything you need to add, Judge LaGrua?
I don't think so.
And
We're just working
we
on
hear you.
guidance on discovery disputes that hopefully we'll post soon.
And I should add that this path is somewhat consistent with the recommendations from the COVID task force. It's not lockstep 100%, but it's somewhat harmonious therewith. So thank you, Judge LaGrua, for your input and your task force.
Merry Christmas to everyone. I hope everyone's safe and happy.
Yeah, let's get through this big bump, folks, and then we'll be good to go. Stay safe. We're going to dispense with the roll call and just let everybody go about your business as far as enjoying your holidays and getting ready for your holidays. And we're going to be working on this end to get this order out. Thank you very much. Appreciate each and every one of you. All right, y'all be good and be safe.